again to The Horror with your hostess with the mostest, Jennifer, as always. So I know we just finished up the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween. Now it is on for the continuation of the shitfest in Halloween 2. God, dude. Like, why, Rob Zombie? Why are you making movies? So yeah, so Halloween 2 opens up kind of pretty much right after like the events of part 1, very similar to how the second one opened up. So we see like Laurie and everything and Annie in the hospital. Doctors are working on him and everything and blah blah blah. And Laurie's like trying to rest and everything, and then what do you know, Michael shows up. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, did this really happen, or was it all kind of like in Laurie's head? Because, he's attacking her in the little like attendance station at the hospital, and then boom, she wakes up. So it's kind of like, okay, is it a dream? Is it not a dream? I kind of wish this whole 2 movies was a dream and didn't actually exist. I'm just saying. So yeah, so Halloween 2, that's how it opens up, and then it goes 2 years down the line, 2 years later and everything, kind of to see like what's going on with like the 3 survivors and everything from the first one, in Laurie, Annie, and her dad, Mr. Brackett, or Officer Brackett, whatever, Sheriff Brackett. And they're all kind of like now living somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. Cause that kind of makes sense. Kind of does make sense. I'll give Rob Zombie props for that, but and his wife, Sherry Moon, whatever, Zombie, is in this movie again, even though she died, she killed herself in the first one. Like, why do you always have to put your goddamn wife in a movie? She can't act. I'm sorry, she's beautiful and everything, but your wife can't act. Just like you don't know how to make a fucking movie. Whatever. You know what? I know there's Rob Zombie fans out there. I just, whatever. I feel like you see one of his movies, you see them all. Just saying. But something that I do kind of like about this movie, one of the very few things about this movie that I actually like, is just to see like how messed up like Laurie and Annie are, and like their relationship and everything, and how that relationship is strained and everything, very turbulent and everything. Because honestly, something like that happens, yeah, you are gonna get pretty messed up, because I know in like the original sequel to this, we didn't really get that, because obviously Laurie still is kind of processing everything, still kind of like in shock about everything. This one, since it goes 2 years later and everything, we realize like, oh my god, like this really messed her up and got all this stuff and everything, but it still sucks. Story still sucks and everything, but whatever. And Sam Loomis is an even bigger egotistical douchebag prick in this one. He has another new book coming out. Once again, trying to make money off the victims and everything of what had happened 2 years before and everything. And it just, God, dude. Like at the end when Michael, or no, not Michael, Sheriff Brackett punches him in the face, I was kind of like, thank God. Because he needed to get punched in the face. He needed to fucking die in this movie. I'm just saying. And I hate to even say that about Sam Loomis, because the original Sam Loomis, I respected him. Not this douchebag. I'm not saying like Roddy McDowall himself, because once again, like I said in my other video, I like Roddy McDowall. He's brilliant. So, but yeah, this movie just like, and once again, a lot of scenes that you didn't even really need to see. A lot of excessive scenes of Michael without the mask on, which, okay, like, it kind of makes sense, because I know we've all had made cracks over the years about the original franchise where, it's like, why is Michael always wearing the mask? Does he always wear the mask, like, when he's trying, like, to find out where whoever his victim is? Like, is he, like, time in between Halloweens? Is he always wearing that mask? Like, he's got to take it off sometime. I feel like this was Rob Zombie's way of saying, well, like, duh, like, no, he obviously doesn't wear it all the time. It's like, we didn't need to fucking see that. And he speaks to this. Why the fudge is Michael speaking in this one? Like, I don't get it. None of this makes sense to me. It really doesn't. And then the way that Laurie Strode finds out that she is Michael's sister in this, total douche move. I blame Rob Zombie on that. Like, seriously, I mean, I get it. Like, you know, she needed a reason to get, like, pissed off and leave Annie alone, so Annie would then get killed and everything. God dang, dude, this movie. A fan of YouTube actually told me I should have been drinking while watching these and doing the reviews. I should have. I didn't get alcohol. I'm sorry. Plus I like being sober for you guys. So I'm just saying. I'm gonna friggin' need a, like, dirty martini later on tonight just to forget about these reviews and these movies. On with the review, sorry. But no, I mean, Halloween 2, this remake just, once again, just fell flat. You know, once again, like, a lot of unnecessary scenes and everything that we just didn't need. You know, a lot of, like, that, you know, like, the white horses coming down and, like, the, almost like the artsy types of shots and everything, like, and I'm usually kind of, like, cool for, like, down for stuff like that. I'm usually like, okay, that's kind of cool, but, like, I don't understand why we had those scenes. You know, like, I really don't. In those, like, sort of, like, hallucinations, that Michael and Laurie would then kind of, like, have almost of, you know, seeing, like, the younger version of Michael, along with, like, the mom and everything. I know that he was trying to really go for, like, some, like, metaphoric type of stuff with shots like that, like, the young Michael, you know, him seeing his younger self and everything, kind of like, that part of him was dead because he was locked up and everything for so many years with his mom, and like, oh, we need to be a family again. But it's like seriously, like, that's the tagline. Family is forever. Like, even like the tagline, I know I didn't mention this in the first one, but evil has a destiny. Like, no, that isn't Halloween. Like, you know, and the thing too, you know, I know the first one kind of tried to toy with this a little bit with, like, towards the end, Michael gives Laurie the picture of, like, him and her as a baby and everything, of, like, you know, him holding her and everything. Trying to kind of do it in this one too, where it's like that whole family connection, like, oh, he, you know, really cares about his sister and he, you know, loves his sister. It's like, no, like, he's out to try and kill his fucking family. Not to, like, have that conflict of, like, oh, she's my sister, I love her, but I also want to kill her. Like, no, dude. You want to fucking kill your sister. I just, like, seriously, God, these movies are just freaking horrible. Like, seriously. Like, these are two movies that I kind of hope I don't ever have to watch again. Because, and here's the thing, because every time I watch these, either one, I always think, like, you know what? People are too harsh on these movies. I'm too harsh on these movies. I'm gonna give these movies another chance, you know, whatever. Like, you know, just kind of hoping that something more is gonna click for me. And then it's like, I watch them and I'm like, what the clusterfuck was that? Like, oh my god. Like, these deserve all the hate. These really do deserve the hate. For those of you who do like these, you know, props to you for liking them. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. You know, maybe this is really kind of the source of why I'm so harsh on like remakes and stuff, because these were just done so horrendously bad and just, God, they're torture to get through. Um, God, I'm just gonna say I'm glad I finally got through these to do these reviews, because oh my God. But anyway, you guys, I mean, whatever. And oh yeah, in the ending to this one, like, so, you know, Michael gets shot. Lori comes out of this abandoned house, and she goes over to Michael, picks up the knife, and then some douchebag starts shooting her. Like, what? Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that to Laurie Strode? Like, if he would have had, still had her die at the end. And I know that there's like there is two different endings to both movies depending on which one you see. I mean, I'm just going off of like the version that I have, because I think the TV, or like the regular version, the theatrical version, um ends differently as far as I know. I mean, if I'm wrong on that, guys, let me know. But I've memory serves, because I've only seen it on cut it on TV like a couple of times. Because once again, I really don't want to have to watch these more than I need to. But it's like, if you're going to have Lori die at the end, at least do it where Michael kills her, not some dumbass cop who's like, oh, she's got a knife, boom, 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 like, whatever. You know what? Whatever. But those are my thoughts, you guys, on the Rob Zombie Halloweens and everything. Thank you for bearing through this series, especially the last couple of installments and everything. I actually did have fun doing this, both this and the Friday 13th franchise reviews. I will do more. I might take a little bit of a break, because I did do two back-to-back franchises, but I will do more down the road and everything, so I promise you that. But till next time, you guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.